We're going to use a strategy today called read, draw, write to solve some division word problems that include fractions. So the first thing we want to do for read, draw, write is to read the problem. It takes 1/4 meter of lumber to make a birdhouse. Alex has 3 meters of lumber. How many birdhouses can Alex build? So I'm going to start by highlighting the question that I actually have to answer. So I'm going to highlight how many birdhouses can Alex build? Now I'm going to go back into the problem and circle the important information I need to answer this problem. So I need to know that it takes 1/4 meter of lumber to make a birdhouse. So I'm going to circle 1/4 meter. And I also need to know that Alex has 3 meters of lumber to work with. So I'm going to circle 3 meters. Now I'm going to draw. So I'm going to start by drawing a model to represent Alex's meters of lumber. So I'm going to draw one rectangle to represent 1 meter. So that means I need to draw 3 rectangles all together. So each one of these is 1 meter of lumber. So I'm just going to write 1 meter next to each one. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the other fraction that I know. We know it takes 1/4 meter of lumber to make a birdhouse. That means 1/4 meter is equal to 1 birdhouse. So I'm going to go ahead and divide each rectangle into 4 pieces. Now each one of these pieces is equal to 1/4 of the meter. And I also know that one of these pieces, if I was just looking at one, let's say I'm looking at this one down here, this is 1/4 meter, which I know is equal to 1 birdhouse. So all I need to do to figure this out is count how many birdhouses Alex can make with his 3 meters. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Alex can make 12 birdhouses. This is a division problem, but we didn't actually use the division equation to solve it. We used the models. But if you wanted to figure out what the division problem is, think about what we just did. We did 3 meters and we divided it by 1/4. We discovered that this is equal to 12. Let's take a look at our next problem. Remember, we're going to use the read, draw, write strategy. So the first thing I'm going to do is read this word problem here. Mrs. Cook wants to share 1/4 pound of fish equally among 3 cats. That means she needs to divide 1/4 into 3 equal groups. How much fish will each cat get? So now I'm going to go back to this problem and highlight my question. What am I solving for? I have to figure out how much fish will each cat get. Now I'm going to have to go back and underline or circle the important information. I know Mrs. Cook has 1/4 pound of fish, so I need to circle that. And I also know that it's going to be shared with 3 cats. So these are the numbers I'm working with. The second sentence even tells me what I have to do. That means she needs to divide 1/4 into 3 equal groups. So I know the division problem here is 1/4 divided by 3. But I'm not going to use the equation to solve it. What I'm going to do is draw a picture. So we're going to draw a model to represent the 1/4 pound of fish. So think about what a whole pound of fish would look like. I'm just going to use a square to represent this. So this square is equal to 1 whole pound. But we know that Mrs. Cook does not have the whole pound, she only has a 1/4 pound. So I'm going to go ahead and divide this square into 4ths. Now I want to shade in how many pounds of fish Mrs. Cook currently has. So I'm going to just shade in 1/4 to represent how much fish we have. So now we have our model that's representing a 1/4 pound of fish. Next, we know that we have to divide this 1/4 pound into 3 equal groups because there are 3 cats. So what we're going to do is divide this pound into 3 the opposite way. So 1, 2, and 3. So what we're looking at now is each cat. So we could say this is cat 1, cat 2, and cat 3. We just need to figure out how much fish will each cat get. So that means we're just going to look at one cat in particular. So go ahead and shade in 1 cat's worth of food that it's going to get. Next, we now have to count. This 1 pound of fish was divided 2 times. First, it was divided into 4 pieces, and then it was divided into 3 pieces. So what is the fraction represented by cat number 1 now? What we're going to do is count up what it's broken into. So this 1 pound is now equal to 12 twelfths. You'll count and see that there's 12 pieces it's split into. So what does cat number 1 get out of those 12 twelfths? Well, it just gets 1/12. So you'll see each cat gets 1/12 of that 1/4 pound of fish. So I'm going to go ahead and write a sentence. Each cat will get 1/12 pounds of fish. So we just solved this division problem. 1/4 divided by 3 is equal to 1/12, but we did it with a drawing instead. Our final problem that we're going to practice today is on the board. Remember, we're using read, draw, write. So we're going to start by reading the problem. Gemma made 5 cups of pancake batter. She uses a scoop measuring 1/3 cup to pour the batter onto the skillet to make large pancakes. How many pancakes can Gemma make? So I'm going to start by highlighting the question that I actually have to solve. I have to figure out how many pancakes can Gemma make? Now, what are the numbers I need to use to answer this problem? Well, I know that Gemma made 5 cups of batter altogether, and I know that her scoop is 1/3 cup. So I have to figure out how many pancakes she can make altogether. So that means I'm going to do 5 cups of batter divided by 1/3 cup. So I'm going to solve this problem now by drawing a picture. I'm going to use rectangles to represent each cup of pancake batter Gemma made. So that means I'm going to be drawing 5 rectangles. I also know that she uses a scoop measuring 1/3 cup to pour the batter onto her skillet. So I'm going to take each rectangle that represents 1 cup of batter, and I'm going to divide it into 3 pieces. And this is going to help me figure out my answer. So what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking at each cup is divided into 3 pieces. That's because we know each one of these is equal to 1/3, and we know 3/3 altogether is the same as 1 cup. So knowing that information, we can go ahead and count how many pancakes she'll be able to make. For example, if we were looking at this first fraction of the first cup, this represents 1 pancake because it's equal to 1/3 cup. So how many pancakes do we have altogether? Well, let's count them up. We have 1, 2, 3 pancakes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we know that Gemma can make 15 pancakes. That means 5 divided by 1/3 is equal to 15.